As Wow eats into the lead with 5/16 to run, it is Mahogany on that lead. Here is Wow now asked to challenge there into the lane. A quarter of a mile to run in the 46th running of the 2,000 guineas, and Mahogany is brave and bold, but Wow now beginning to wear him down on the outside. Mahogany gives way. Wow grabs a hold of him and now hits the front with a furlong to run. It is Wow Halidine wailing away with the left-hand stick at 16th to run. Wow, he's only lost once in his entire career and he won't lose this afternoon. Wow-tastic in the end, wins it over Mahogany, Double Crown, Tomahawk and Nipster.
Back on the SportsMax zone to the Sport of Kings 2,000 Guineas winner Wow and the horse he beat in that July 26 clash, the 2,000 Guineas Mahogany, renewing rivalry in the season's second classic, the third classic actually, the Jamaica St. Pleasure over 10 furlongs at Caymanas Park on Saturday. You can catch the race live on SportsMax with our coverage starting at 4 o'clock, 5 Eastern Caribbean time, when the principals met 2 months ago. Mahogany wilted after setting blazing splits for the 1 mile contest as Wow won in a smart time of 1 minute 37 3/5 of a second. The big two will sell most tickets, but stable confidence is high for a few of the others in this 12 horse field. Gary Sobrati has a couple of other solid entries going in. Nipster, who is vastly improved, another affair, the filly who ran second to Above and Beyond in both the 1,000 Guineas and the Jamaica Oaks. There's Old Wolf as well coming from the Gary Sobrati barn, and for the trainer who he rivals, Ian Prasad, with Mahogany. Mahogany also has a stablemate in there in the form of Double Crown, who is expected to enjoy the 10 furlong trip. And there are others in this field who have gone 2 turns before and are expected to enjoy the 10 furlong trip. Among them, Wayne DaCosta's King Arthur, the 11 horse, and the 8 horse, One of a Kind, from the barn of champion and leading trainer Anthony Baba Nunes, who has already won 2 of the 3 classics so far this season. This is going to be a hot race. We accept, Mariah and George, that Wow and Mahogany on class are without question the best 2 horses in the race. But because they're going 10 furlongs, neither Wow nor Mahogany have gone as far in their lifetime so far. It serves up a discussion regarding enjoying the trip of 10 furlongs. It's an extended trip, and there are others in this field. George will want to point to a few of them, I think, that will enjoy 10 furlongs probably more than Wow and Mahogany will, George and Moran.
Well, before George jumps in, I just want to ask you, because I've been following Wayne DaCosta's King Arthur. Is he any good? Yes,
he's a good horse. He has been a little disappointing, hasn't won as many races as his backers think he should have won, but he is a horse that will enjoy going 2 turns and enjoy going 10 furlongs. He has a smart, informed rider aboard in Anthony Thomas, who is the 2018 champion rider, and he is the hottest rider at Caymanas Park at the moment. All summer, he has won more races than any other rider coming into, as we head into October, and he's just one off leading rider Dane Nelson at the moment. So King Arthur, George, I think, is a horse that we've got to look at.
Absolutely so. From 7 starts, he has 2 wins, but as Lance noted, he was expected to win much more than he has so far. But he has matured. I made a point earlier this week to say that the St. Pleasure will be an even better race than if it were run at the usual time on the calendar in July, because these horses have gotten 3 more months to develop because of the COVID layoff. They are better horses than they would have been in July, much more mature. This race is going to be better. Now, how will this race be run is the most important question. I can say before going into that this race will be won by the horse who gets the best assistance from the jockey. Right. This race is all about jockeyship. It's not a sprint race where you shut your eyes and you just punch all the way to the end and the fastest horse wins. This race will be about tactics. Will your horse get a clean break? Will you save ground going around the first bend, which is the clubhouse turn? Where will you position your horse down the backstretch? At the half mile, how far will you be away from the leader? Which track will you be taking? Are you 5 wide swinging into the half mile turn? Are you going to be 4 or 5 wide turning for home? Are you going to be caught on the rail where you can't position your horse properly, where you can't use your left hand stick if you need to because you're too close to the rail? Where will you be positioned? That's the most important decision. And that's why a jockey like Winston Fanner Griffiths has a Guinness World Record number of classic wins because he got most of these things right. Most of the times he rode a good horse in the classic races. Now, when that is said, Lance, Mariah, Wow Wow and Mahogany represent speed. They represent blinding speed. There is a doubt over whether they can carry that speed over the extended trip of 10 furlongs. I believe that based on what we saw from their prep races, of course they ran in the Guineas, we know what happened because we saw that at the top of this segment. The prep races they had, Mahogany ran over 8.5 furlongs. He absolutely dismantled that field in a stakes record time. It was a stakes record time?
Yes.
Yes, a stakes record time over 8.5 furlongs. That was an awesome performance. This is that run in the Guineas between both of them. When Wow Wow ran, he prepped over 9 furlongs and 25 yards against, by far, the best horse in the country. I believe that as impressive as Mahogany was in his prep race, Lance, Wow Wow's prep was better because although the form book shows him getting progressively further and further away from Tuna Ciliata as the race went on, the manner of the performance, the visual performance, it is better to watch the race and watch the replay than to go by the past performance listed in the book. He ran a much better race than his final position indicated. And running 5 lengths to the best horse in the land, the first time Wow is running over 2 turns, Mahogany has yet to race over 2 turns, I think gives Gary Sabrati's horse an advantage. But both of them have similar running styles, have similar capacities, and that's why I'm fearing that they could play in the hands of something who can sit just off them and outstay them in the stretch.
So George and Lance, I'm getting the idea that the horse that wins will be the one that gets everything right on the day?
Well, the jockey that gets everything right on the day. So you're not far off. That's what I'm saying. Lance, you spoke to me off here and you said that Halidine has to be patient. Why and how?
Well, as you just explained, both horses have extremely good tactical speed. And you have to, as a rider, know how to execute the tactical speed that the horse has with the fact that they're going 10 furlongs, longest trip that any of them have gone. You've got to keep that in mind. Now, Halidine is not known to be the most patient of riders, but I think he has to be patient here with Wow Wow to ensure that inside the final furlong on Saturday afternoon, Wow Wow has enough energy to fight off any other horse that may be within range, because I expect Wow Wow to be right there at the 8th pole. Against Tuna Ciliata, as you said, George, and I agree, the best horse in the country at the moment. He lost by 5 lengths to a solid A-class horse, the best horse in the country at the moment. That was over 9 furlongs and 25 yards. So even though we are exercising some doubt here as to the horse's comfort, both Wow Wow and Mahogany's comfort over 10 furlongs, Wow Wow did run well over 9 furlongs and 25 yards, which isn't far from 10 furlongs. So I think Wow Wow, against his age group, will find 10 furlongs manageable. And I think Robert Halidine has to exercise patience in this race and not allow the moment to get the better of him. He has never won a St. Leger. He has won 1,000 and 2,000 Guineas before. He won a Derby and was disqualified aboard Future King. But he has to display a lot of patience in this race if Wow Wow is to get home in front.
Thing is this, if there was no Mahogany in this race, Wow Wow would win as he liked.
I think so.
If there was no Wow Wow in this race, Mahogany may still be in trouble. Mahogany is not bred to get 10 furlongs. He's by Sensational Slam, a Canadian-bred stallion who by Grand Slam won up to 9 furlongs in his career. Sensational Slam didn't win further than 6.5 furlongs. On the dam side, though, there is some stamina there for Mahogany because he's out of Meteorite. Meteorite is a filly, was a mare thrown by Traditional. She was by Traditional Making Peace. Making Peace has some stamina on the bottom side. I'm doing all of this to show you the stamina lineage of Mahogany. So the dam, Meteorite, her dam, Making Peace, was a mare who stayed, and Making Peace, Lance, was the dam of the multiple Super Stakes winner Menudo. I think he won 4 Super Stakes back to back for Richard Azan and a selection of riders including Roger Moore and Andrew Ramjeet. So there's some stamina there on the bottom side, but it's diluted. On the top side, Sensational Slam, and they say that horses get their stamina usually from the stallion side, which is why the stallion is so important in the breeding. Mahogany is not bred to get 10 furlongs. As you said just now, Lance, at 3 years old, you can use class and account for a deficit in staying ability. But when you have another potent horse in the race, just like you, whose running characteristics are just like you in Wow, that's where Mahogany has a problem. Of the two, Wow, I think, stays better, but I still don't think he's a genuine 10 furlongs horse, but I think he'll get home more comfortably than Mahogany, and that's why I'm not going with Mahogany, who is a fantastic horse, and I'd love nothing more than for Ian Brassard to win this St. Leger. However, Mariah asked earlier about King Arthur. This horse vastly improved. At 9 furlongs and 25 yards unlost, he was beaten in a driving finish by Nipster. Although he was getting 8 pounds that day, they'll sit level weight, 126 pounds each on Saturday. I think King Arthur is at a stage of rapid improvement and could cause the upset. Don't discount number 5, Double Crown, who stays forever and a day. He can run from now till next week and not get tired. But it's just at what pace will he run? He is going to run a massive race. Another Affair is one of 3 horses in this race who've gone 10 furlongs. She's gone 10 furlongs, Sen City has gone 10 furlongs, and Attorney General has gone 10 furlongs as well, of course, because they ran in the Oaks. The Colts and Geldings have not gone 10 furlongs yet, although a few of them have gone 2 turns. And what about Baba Dionis's horse, One of a Kind? He doesn't have the class of the principals, but he will run on, and I think he will be in my superfecta. Lance, who's your superfecta? Your first 4 past the post in this St. Leger on Saturday.
Wow, Mahogany, One of a Kind, Another Affair. George, I see Another Affair coming in the forecast odds at 40-1, which is a little surprising for me. I know the horse came out of a grueling Oaks trip over 10 furlongs just 4 weeks ago. In fact, after that race, when Above and Beyond had won and Nunes, the trainer, didn't know at the point that the horse was injured and would never race again, he expressed doubts about racing Above and Beyond in the St. Leger because of how taxing it would be for the filly to come back so quickly after the grueling Oaks run. But note how well Another Affair ran in that race, George. She ran 2:07 for 10 furlongs in the Jamaica Oaks. And I know the track conditions change from time to time, but no St. Leger winner in the last 15 years, apart from Big Daddy Cool in 2016, has gone that fast for a St. Leger victory going 10 furlongs. And I just think that Another Affair is such a stout running filly, always gives a solid performance. I see this filly making the top 4 on Saturday afternoon, even though the forecast odds here are showing 40-1.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you there, because guess what? Because of the draw. Were she drawn in the middle or out wide? I'd say yes. Drawn on at the inside draw at the 1 post. She's gonna have Jerome Innes, the jockey. He's gonna have to use up some gas to get to that clubhouse turn in front, so he can then hold a good position going down the back stretch. And I think the race from the gate to that clubhouse turn, which is what, about 2 furlongs,
yes,
that's going to be very, very quick, I think, because of Mahogany and Wow and everybody trying to justify position. I think the extra gas that Another Affair will have to use up to get that good position, given that she's drawn unfavorably on the inside,
yes,
I think that will prove to be her undoing, although I respect the points you've made about her quality and her well-being as advertised in the Oaks. But if she were drawn in the middle of the field, I'd be right with you. Or outside, but I don't think from the 1 draw with the gas that she'll have to use up early to get a good position, that she'll be able to be fighting out the finish in deep stretch.
Okay, I have her 4th though. And you're a
Wow will
superfecta?
win.
Well, yes, I'm going for the outsider.
Yes.
Yeah, the class horses are obvious, and if they win, it will be no surprise. I'm going King Arthur over Wow,
Really?
over Double Crown, and I'm expecting One of a Kind, Mahogany to fight out the finish for the minor placings in the frame. I don't think that Mahogany will finish in the top 2.
We go to break. More on The Zone after this.